I had the pleasure of working with the City of Medford. In fact, I've worked with the city for upwards of 30 years, and the challenges we face keep changing. So the one that came along most recently, of course, is the need for the City of Medford to reduce its temperature footprint on the Rogue River. The Rogue River is a wild and scenic river with an incredible fishery, so it is important. So the three alternatives that really panned out that are viable were effluent chillers, which is essentially just a refrigeration unit. In Medford's case, that would have been approximately 6,000 horsepower of connected chillers. Effluent storage, which was just excavating, and actually there is Knife River has quarries nearby, and they would actually be interested in the gravel. But you know, the amount of money we can get from selling them the gravel versus what it costs to do it was simply not there. And so you can see that the present worth of that alternative was about $15 million. And then ultimately temperature trading panned out at $5 million.
I wanted to spend a little bit of time, talking about what we needed to do, as the Freshwater Trust, and to help with the permit development for the City of Medford, to understand what we needed to know about the system, particularly the Rogue River Basin, to feel comfortable that a water quality trading program for shade restoration and temperature compliance would be a viable alternative for the city. So what I want to step through a little bit is kind of what we looked at in terms of the watershed and the potential thermal credits that could be generated in this particular area, and then kind of how we've looked at the site level for prioritizing and then the sort of ongoing maintenance and monitoring that's involved with these compliance grade credits. So with that, we looked at a number of different rivers within this basin that could generate thermal credits, and we assessed the uplift potential, the availability of generating shade credits throughout these different systems. And this is just an example of Bear Creek. And what you can see with the different colors, the red represents high uplift, an area that currently does not have very much vegetation. And if you were to come in and plant streamside vegetation, you would be able to reduce a lot of solar loading that's currently reaching the surface of the stream. Whereas your greens represent areas that a little bit less. So you're not seeing nearly as much benefit from the planting of riparian vegetation. And for us, this is kind of key in figuring out where we want to work so that we're able to put resources in the places where they're actually needed within those systems. So taking a look at the watershed level, but we've also gone down and taken a look at the site level to see what sort of potential uplift is available on the ground by actual tax lots within the basin. So we're understanding not only where in general in the system restoration would be a good idea, but actually where on the ground, which landowners we would like to be talking to, whose doors we'd like to be knocking on in order to actually implement some of these projects. We want to be generating systems that not only are shading the river and providing that temperature benefit to the system, but are also providing the full suite of ecological benefits that we want to see as well. So we're involved with invasive species control, plant replacement where it's required, irrigating in some conditions to make sure that we have good survival of plants, and then this long-term monitoring where we're doing both qualitative and quantitative monitoring to see what sort of species diversity we have on sites, also what sort of density we're seeing, and then making sure that that can continue year after year.